this stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen. Truth is stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen.
Herschel 36 on the beat, and I must say this is one of the most surreal experiences of my life so far, and that's saying something. This particular track is Damian Marley. The track is called Road to Zion. Let me start by just thanking the Beat for having me on. It's a pleasure to be on this. What a great show. What a top lad. And also, of course, to the infamous Beat Boy, who has sorted everything out as per usual. Beat Boy, have it. So here we are, we're going to start this show. This is Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Every Wednesday afternoon from 6 till 8 on the Costa del Sol. And today we're going to be dealing with some really interesting facts about water. And in the studio today, I have a very beautiful young lady with me, a good friend of mine, Audrey Spearing. Good afternoon, Audrey.
Good afternoon, Dave. How are you?
I must say, Audrey, I'm a little bit stressed. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm glad I'm this side of the table and not that side.
Yeah, well, you know, we could soon change that, Audrey. We could soon change that.
No, thanks. It's okay. I think I'll stay here.
Okay, so Audrey's a friend of mine, quite recent friend of mine, actually. We met a few weeks ago on the Malaga Business Minds group. We're part of that, which is run by a gentleman called Nami. I've known Nami for a couple of years now, and met Audrey in Malaga, didn't we, Audrey?
We did, doing a business mastermind group.
Listen, tell me, what did you write in my envelope? Can you remember?
Yes, I can, but that's a secret. I can't say that on air.
That's true, because Truth is Stranger Than Fiction will be coming back to you. Audrey's going to be our specialist, talking about water, the properties of it, and what's what, and who's who.
Truth is stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen. Truth is stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen. Truth is stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen. Truth is stranger fiction. When it gets too hot in your kitchen. There's the beat again.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to the show. We are off. We are running. Listen, I have Audrey Spearing here with me. She's a good friend of mine from Ireland, aren't you, Audrey?
From Dublin.
You're Dublin. You know that I've got family in Dublin.
Where's your Irish accent then?
Well, that's the thing. I grew up in Hampshire on the south coast of England. So my mother was Irish, but my father was Scottish. So luckily, I've got that mad gene in me. Whenever I put alcohol in me, I go mental. Really lucky.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, thanks. Because you're not like that, are you?
Not at all. No, I'm really quiet.
Yeah.
I'd say in most weekends, you know.
Yeah, you don't really do... You don't do anything that's going to upset your bodily functions, do you?
That's so not true. I'm Irish at the end of the day, Dave. No point in lying on air.
Right. So, listen, Audrey, just tell me, how long have you been on the Costa del Crime?
I've been living on the coast about 14 years. I live in Guadalmina Alta. And I have a little boy. He's almost 12 years of age. And I love living on the coast like most people that live along here.
And how did you and I bump into each other? Because I tell you, the funniest thing was I was thinking about how to roll out this show because I pitched Gareth Beach Boy. I said, listen, I think I've got an idea for a show. And then I spoke to the owners, the two girls, two sisters, and they said to me, well, it's a good idea of doing this kind of talk thing, but what's your content? And I was going to do content on money, cash, and some friends of mine said, you can't do that. You can't do money. It's too challenging right now. And then someone introduced me to the topic of water. Now, I'm a big water drinker. It's really important to me. I drink water in the morning. I drink water throughout the day and at night time. And I don't drink alcohol anymore. I used to.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. So I drink a lot of water. But just tell people how you and I met.
Well, Dave and I met a couple of weeks ago in Malaga because we signed up to do the Malaga Business Mastery course with NAMI, which is basically a course to develop and help you set goals regarding whatever it is you want to do business-wise. Or it could be like from a physical point of view to lose weight, or maybe a financial point of view, or from a business point of view, really. And we're working together as a group to try and help each other and to build our business.
And in fact, you are my business buddy, aren't you?
I am, allegedly.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. And I can tell you that you drive. You are driven, woman. You are driven, and it's really nice. It's a great energy to be around. It's great energy. And the thing is, I don't think people realise how much movement, momentum there is on the Costa del Crime. You know, it's a pretty awesome place to hang out. I hang here and I hang in London. Okay, so I get the best of both worlds in some ways. Although I've got to say, I prefer running on the coast here
along the sea,
than doing the Thames. I don't mind doing the Thames, but I prefer it in Spain. I really do. But you know, we have a lot of connectivity, a lot of connections, you and me, because you're very sporty as well, aren't you? And that's one of your business angles, is looking after people's health and their spirituality.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a personal trainer and a massage therapist, so I've been doing it for about 20 years. And I help people to teach them what to eat and how to become more alkaline, and what to do in the gym and not to do in the gym. And
hang on, let's go back. Help them become alkaline. What the devil are you talking about, girl?
Okay, sure.
Girlfriend.
Basically, in our body, we have what's called an acid and alkaline balance. And our body is about 75% water. So we need to...
I've heard up to 90% water. I find it hard to believe. I hope that you're going to take us into some aspects of water and what it's all about, aren't you?
I am.
Probably a bit later on as we move forward, because we're coming to the end of this initial first section, Audrey. But it's really good to have you here.
Thank you.
And people can't see us, but we look like we're going to run a marathon.
You're all dressed up in our Nikes. In case the show doesn't go too well, at least we can run away.
Anyone listening to this show in the United Kingdom, you are dark, miserable, and it's probably raining. It's bright and sunny and 32 degrees here. Well, it's not quite, but it's pretty nice. Anyway, that's us over and out for a little bit.
J'ai voulu croire. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour ne plus rien avoir. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour plus jamais te voir. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Parfois j'aimerais mourir tellement y a plus d'espoir. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour plus jamais te revoir. Parfois j'aimerais mourir pour ne plus rien savoir. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus tous les jours. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour. Je ne t'aime plus, mon amour.
is a very, very sexy track. Anyone listening to this broadcast and knows more about Manu Chao, please post something on Facebook, because we want to know more. I've never heard that track before, and that is very, very sexy. Anyway, we're back into Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. My name is Herschel36, and this is The Beat. Now, there's a few things that I really, really am passionate about. And one of those things is music. There's no two ways about it. I've been a musician since I'm 13 years of age. And the other thing is health. I really like to stay healthy. And I've got 2 kids, 15-year-old. Well, actually, that's not fair on Jacob. He's only 14. Jacob's 14. And my daughter, Eloise, is 12. And I'm really passionate about those 2. And I try and get them to drink water when they get up in the morning, water at lunch, water when they have their evening meal, because I think it's really, really important. If you look at a child, you'll see that they look clearly they look fat and healthy and they're plump, don't have any wrinkles. It's because they're full of water, right? Full of water. And as we grow older, we become wrinkly, we tense up and stuff. It's because we're losing all this water. So water is just so important. And in recent weeks, I have been investigating into what water is. So, Audrey Spearing. Now, could you please remind me what your website is? Would you mind?
Sure, it's audreyspearing.com, and under that I have different links to my website relating to water, which is kangenenergy.com, and a few other ones because I do different things. But getting to water, yeah, you're right, Dave. Water is so important. Your body is about 75 to 85%, depending on which part of the body you're speaking about. Your skin is 82, your muscles are about 80, depending. I mean, it can vary depending on the individual.
Well, that's right. And we don't only take water in through the old gob, the mouth, but we also absorb it when we take a shower and all sorts of bits and pieces. What brought you onto water? Because I know that you're a Tony Robbins fan. Is that correct?
Yeah. I studied Tony Robbins for many years, and he's a guy big on health and nutrition, and he always preached to us about alkalizing the body and having the best quality water and nutrients and vegetables in our system. So that brought me on to investigating water and finding the
You know,
best
Audrey,
water.
I did a Tony Robbins course when in my 20s. I'm 43 now, and I did a course, and Tony Robbins was talking to the audience saying, you've got to sort out your water. You got to, and I was thinking, I just walked over hot coals. I was going to take over the world and that kind of thing. And there's Robbins shouting about water, and I'm thinking, hang on, Tony. What the hell are you going on about? I ignored him for years, and then boom, something happened. I realized that the water I was consuming wasn't actually water, right? So I'm putting stuff in my body that has so many chemicals in it that it's not making me feel good. Now, water has this emotional response, doesn't it, to energy and frequency. Could you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. There's been lots of experiments done on water, and there's a Japanese doctor called Dr. Emoto, and he basically measured the frequency of water or how different emotions affected water.
That's right. He played love songs, he played Beethoven, classical tunes, he played hard rock, and the molecular structure, easy for me to say, changed with the changing frequency. Were you aware that the Earth resonates at a frequency of 43.2 kilohertz?
Yes, because you told me at the mastermind group.
That's right. And music is recorded at 44.1, but it wasn't always recorded at 44.1 kilohertz. So something's going on. Now, the people that are selling the water, they know that water is really important to us. So what would you say, in our last 50 seconds, what would you say are the most important 3 elements of water?
Okay, first of all, you want your water to be alkaline because your body needs to be in an alkaline state rather than acidic. That's the first thing. Secondly, you would like your water to be chemical free and filtered, that it has the best nutrition and it's hydrating. And thirdly, you want your water to be an antioxidant.
Hang on, did you say thirdly?
33 and a third percent.
Is that 33 and 33? Oh, that's great. Well, listen, that's a little introduction. We've got some great tracks coming up. Don't leave us, and we'll be back with you with more information why water is important. That was funny. That was really funny. I swear to you, that was Beat Boy and the Prostrate advert. Absolute genius there. Absolute genius. Really enjoying my time on the beat here. This is it's kind of hectic in the studio, but it's also kind of cool. Now, Audrey, how you going?
Fine, thank you.
You having a nice time?
Yeah.
You're looking very beautiful over there, that's for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're doing a great job. You really are. Now, you and I were chatting, weren't we, together? We were talking about the importance of water. Let me just tell you something about water. There was a period in my life, in my 30s, when I got really depressed and I wasn't looking after myself. I was going out late. I was a professional musician in playing in Piccadilly in London, right? It was meant to be the peak of my career, and it was the worst time of my life, right? Worst time of my life. And I was just not looking after myself. So I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't running anymore. And I just wasn't consuming enough vitamins, right? And I wondered why I was feeling so depressed and just down and out. It's probably because I'm living in London, you know. It's pretty dark and dingy. And then I came across some information about water. I came across some information about vitamins, and I started thinking about how do I put stuff in me that makes my body and mind grow, and also helps me grow spiritually.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, Dave, a lot of people feel like that. And I think, obviously the weather is a big thing. We're quite lucky living on the Costa del Sol because we have plenty of vitamin D. So that's a good thing. But what you put into your body is really so important as regards fruits, vegetables, water. Basically, anything that Mother Earth grows is a fantastic thing. We want living energy in our body. That's why it's good to eat lots of fruits and vegetables.
That's right. Fruit and vegetable have a lot of water in it. You know, the earth is predominantly water. There's more water on the earth than anything else in the world, you know. Yeah. And water was first, and water gives life. So that's why when I go out there and let's say I spend $250 on a big bottle of water, and one of those nice blue ones, and it looks, the packaging's all cool, and I think, wow, that's really nice water. It looks good. It tastes okay. But then I drink your water and it tastes completely different. What's going on?
Yeah, the difference is, Dave, that all water is not created equal. It's like if you go and do a yoga class, only because you have a yoga teacher in front of you, you have good yoga teachers and you have bad yoga teachers. Water is exactly the same. You have different qualities of water. So all water is not the same. That's why we need to test it to make sure we have the best quality water in our system.
See, I think something's going on. I think that when I go and buy a bottle from the local supermarket, if I've done some tests, Audrey, and I know we're going to do some tests on the next hour here live on the beat. We're going to look into this. This is what the show's all about. It's about opening up our knowledge, and so we can grow. But I've done some tests, and I realised that some of the water that I bought is acid. It's not alkaline. Now, I don't even know what the difference is, to be honest with you. And a lot of people out there, same as me, Joe Blogs, we don't know. But you and I are a similar age. You are looking absolutely fantastic. How do you manage it? What is the difference? Is it alkaline?
Yeah. Dave, the body wants to be about 7.365 on the pH scale. You probably remember when you're in school learning about the pH scale. And basically what it means is we have an acid and alkaline balance in our body. We want to be more alkaline so that we're healthy, that we can, fresh air will give us that, plenty of sleep, drinking good quality water, exercising most days, getting plenty of vitamin D and having a positive mental attitude. That will keep us alkaline. People who are acidic, things like drinking toxic alcohol, smoking cigarettes, leading a stressful life, worrying about things that we don't need to, that'll bring us into an acidic environment. So it's about getting the balance correct between acid and alkaline.
Now listen, I used to smoke cigarettes. I never used to buy them, but I used to smoke them.
We get blamed on everything.
That's
the Irish.
Right. It's always the Irish, right? And you take Beat Boy as an example. He is the epitome of health. I think it's because he drinks your water. Is there any truth to that rumour?
I don't think so. He's smiling out there, though.
Well, here we go. We're coming up to the end of this little section, and we are moving into the next track and the top of the hour. So keep with us, because next hour we will be doing some tests on specific waters, and we'll be giving you the results live on the beat. Stay with us, people.
Do you have a tail feather?
Yes, I have a tail feather.
Then you shake it, my dear.
This is the beat.
Wow. Come on.
Our love is the music.
So we're back in for the second hour. Now, in between us chatting last time and coming back into the show now, Audrey, I do believe that you have been coming up with some results. Now, what's going on your side, please? Tell me.
This one is Nestle. It's a baby's kids water, the one with the cartoon characters on it. So I tested this one for antioxidants and for pH. And also I tested a congas, which is the obviously water with gas.
Hang on. Just run that past me. So when you're saying you're testing water, what's going on? So you've got glasses here. I can see them in your hands, and you fill them up with water. So what water's in which glass, please?
Okay. So in the first one, I have the children's water. In the middle one, I have the agua con gas, the water with gas.
Yeah.
And in the third one, I have the Kangen water, or the alkaline water. And I'm testing for two things. The first thing is how antioxidizing the water is.
Yeah.
And the second thing is it alkaline or is it acidic? Okay. And as you can see, obviously you can see, Dave, and nobody else can unless they're magic. There's very drastic differences between them. If we look at the antioxidant level, when basically I have this meter which measures whether something is an antioxidant or not.
And why is antioxidant, I can't even say it, easy for me to say, but why is it so important? Just tell me.
Your body needs as many antioxidants as possible. Because of the lifestyle that we lead, we have a lot of toxins in our body, okay? And these are basically, in layman's terms, little baddies going around our body, like from processed foods, from the food, the drinks that we take, that causes stress on the molecules of our body. So we need to have as many antioxidants as possible to kill these, they're called free radicals, to make ourselves be and have a healthy environment. So I have this machine that measures whether something is an antioxidant or not. And when I'm measuring the water, basically the children's water and the congas is coming up really, really oxidizing, which basically means it's taking away from
Hang on. Hold your horses, young lady.
Okay.
You're telling me that the water I give to my daughter is full of acid?
Yes, it's acidic.
Ouch.
Yes.
So what does that do to my little daughter Eloise?
Well, it isn't great, because you want to have the best quality water for like your children and for everybody that you love, everybody that you know. And listen, I'm not making this up. You can go and buy pH drops from the local health store, and all you do is drop the pH drops, that little orange ones there, into the glass, and it basically, if it comes up a yellowy orange colour, which you can see it is, that means that the water is acid. If it comes up a bluey purple colour, that means it's alkaline. So you want your water to be alkaline and antioxidizing, and not be acidic and oxidizing.
Right, okay, so listen, I will, my daughter has got me flying her to Paris to Disneyland, Euro Disney, whatever it's called. Can't stand the place myself. But she's got me flying there with her buddies, right? So you're telling me that I can spend thousands of euros to go to Disney, yet I'm spending £2.50 on a bottle of water, and I'm giving her, is that poison? Is that poisonous? Is that going to help her grow into a beautiful young woman, or is that going to be negative to her growth?
It's not going to be very helpful. So really, it's so important that you make sure that you buy really good quality water. If you are going to buy bottled waters, I recommend that you buy one that's in, for example, in a container that's a colour like a blue container. The problem is, Dave, when most of the waters that are in bottles are in plastic bottles that have chemicals in, and I mean, obviously we live in Spain in the sunshine, so a lot of these bottles are kept in warehouses in Madrid or Barcelona in the sun, then they're shipped to the local supermarket. So it's like dead water. It has no life force, and it's there a long time. So we're basically drinking dead water, where we need water that has energy in it.
That's right, and water is very much alive, isn't it? And
absolutely.
This is what gets me about this conversation. It really does. It's the fact that I spend spend thousands on X, Y, and Z, yet the small things I'm not taught about. No one spoke to me when I was growing up about the importance of water, right? I never got that kind of information at school for one reason or another. And of course, I really want that information. And so people, if you are listening to this and you want further information, then ping us on Facebook or get in touch somehow.
Every day with someone.
This is The Beat.
It is official. Beat Boy is leaving the building.
To the mansion or the condo. That's so perfect time, gotta let it flow. You know I'm watching. It's not all night.
I really like that one. That was I Don't Like It, I Love It by Florida. Never heard of Florida. Does that show my age? Possibly does. But here we are. We are coming into the middle of the second half of Truth. Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. My name's Herschel 36, and I am here with the lovely Audrey Spearing. Audrey, you're back in, kid. Now listen, I want you to give us a little overview, a holistic view to how you would advise me as a human being on the planet Earth how to live life in a positive and beautiful manner. Because, I'm 43, every day counts. Every day counts. It's really important to me to be healthy, loving to other human beings, and I want to engage with life best I can.
Sure. I think really that nature is your best doctor. Rather than taking so many medications or pills, if you just simply use nature, be in the sun, get yourself outdoors as much as possible. We're very lucky along the coast. We can run by the sea and be in the mountains and stuff, so I highly recommend that. Sleep is really important because you need between 6 to 8 hours sleep every night. When you sleep, that's when all your cells rejuvenate. So that's really important to sleep.
I use a grounding mat. Have you come across grounding?
Absolutely. Grounding mats are fantastic, and anything that gets you centered, like yoga, meditation, deep breathing, because we live in a very fast life. Just look at the traffic, everything that's happening.
Audrey, I can't do yoga. I'm just not that flexible. I've done Pilates for a while, but it's about discipline, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's anything. If I start something, I've got to complete it. So continue.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So sleep is important. Obviously getting some vitamin D from the sun. Everyone should do moderate exercise every day. The World Health Organization say you should do between 20 and 30, again, 30 during the third. 30 minutes of moderate exercise every day. It doesn't have to be yoga. Find something that you love to do, because if you're passionate about it and you enjoy it, you'll more than likely stick to it.
That's so true. So many people are doing things that just make them unhappy.
Yeah, you have to do something that you love, because when you're passionate, you'll stick with it. If it's paddle tennis, if it's going for a walk on the beach, if it's an aerobics class, whatever, do something that's fun.
Life is very, very short, okay? And so I got to jam pack it with stuff that's so much fun.
Exactly.
I just love having fun. I love doing great things.
Absolutely. And remember that as human beings, we're energetic. We're actually an energy being. So what you eat, what you drink, what you think, what you feel and what you experience is going to affect your frequency, or how you vibrate on the planet.
I believe this to be true, okay? I believe the day that you and I met, there was a communication that went before the actual words.
Sure.
That happens all the time. Now, I walk into a place and some people just don't like me, and vice versa, and I don't know why that is.
How could that be true, Dave?
It's hard to believe.
There's something wrong with them.
It's hard to believe. That's right. They're insane. But there is a communication at frequency level that is beyond our knowledge, and water is something that is very important in our existence.
Totally. And you know what? You should always go with your gut feeling. If you have a bad vibe about something, you're usually correct. Yeah, and sometimes we try to cloud it with logic, or we overthink things, but normally your gut feeling is correct because your energy. So you'll pick up on someone else's energy to know whether something is right or something is wrong. But because we're 75% water, we do vibrate at a certain frequency, and that's why it's important to make sure you're hydrated and you drink the best quality water possible.
Okay, so best quality water possible. That's a really good idea. But, I go from month to month. I've got to pay for my kids, got to pay for the house, I've got to pay for this, that, blah, blah, blah. So what is the best water possible? where do I get that? How do I source that? Where do I research that?
Okay, well, there's lots of information on the internet. Basically, I went to Lecknell and I bought every bottled water possible and I tested them all. So be careful when you're buying bottled waters. Try and buy the ones that are in coloured containers. Please do not drink your tap water because the government put in a lot of chemicals. It's full of chlorine. It's full of lime and it's full of calcium. Be careful. Do not wash your fruits and vegetables or your meat or drink tap water.
We're going to be getting into the government in later shows, but if you want to ask Audrey some direct questions, you can via the Facebook.com page, The Beat Spain, or you can text us on 640-678-011. That's 640-678-011. And we will get to your questions. Tune, big tune.
Send me no letter. Don't think I could forgive you. See, our word is slowly dying. I'm not wasting no more time. Don't think I could believe
The Beat. Feed your musical addiction. This is The Beat.
This is Herschel 36. On the beat, truth is stranger than fiction. I have with me here Audrey Spearing. Audrey, how you going?
I'm really fine, thanks, Dave.
Okay, come a little bit closer to the mic.
Sure.
Right, that beautiful Irish accent. Listen, Audrey and I were just talking about life. And sometimes with life, it's better to do nothing. So I was just about to jump in on a track, and we both looked at each other, shook our heads. I said, no, let's
Don't do it.
That's right. When things are going okay, just let life take control. And it's going to be, everything's all right in the end, you know? Anyway, it's been good fun so far, hasn't it, Audrey?
Yeah, for sure.
You have been a wonderful first guest on Truth is Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think to The Beat, the radio station?
Well, I actually quite like the music.
Yeah, that's cool.
To be honest, I'd never listened to it before until I knew you were going to have a program on it. So I started listening, and I quite like the music. I think it's good.
And you've also met the Beat Boy.
I have.
What do you think to Beat Boy? What do you think to Beat Boy's beard?
I think he definitely has a face for radio.
It's true, Beat Boy. If you're out there, you're a very good-looking man for a radio producer and presenter. So, during that little break, what happens is me and Audrey, we have a chat about the elements that we're going to talk about next. And we were having a chat, and I was playing on my mobile phone. And I'm always on my mobile phone. I'm addicted to technology. So I'm surrounded by radio frequencies. And Audrey said to me, do you turn off your Wi-Fi and mobile phone at night? Now, Audrey, why did you say that to me?
Because basically, as you know, we're all energetic beings. When you're in Wi-Fi and when you have your 3G on and your broadband on, we have this radiation or this energetic frequency constantly going around our house and around our head. And I even see it with my son. Sometimes he falls asleep with his mobile phone beside him, which is really so bad for your brain. So it's so important to switch off your mobile at night so your brain can actually sleep and you can go into a deep consciousness, deep sleep.
Do you know that I forbid my boy to take his Galaxy, whatever it is, to bed with him? And every night he takes his Galaxy with him. And I say, Jakey, give me the phone. I take it out and I put it to one side and turn it off. And then what happens is I go to bed with my iPhone.
Well, you notice, like, we have Facebook and Instagram and Google and emails and WhatsApp. There's always something happening. So many people are addicted to the phone. So it's always a good thing to switch it off before you go to sleep so you can give yourself a nice, good night's rest.
So all these frequencies that we are surrounded, or I'm surrounded with, you're surrounded by, my children are surrounded by, they have an effect on the human body, the molecular structure of the human body, and also the brain. Okay,
Totally.
So the brain is an electrical impulse, basically. And if I'm wrong, tell me online. It's an electrical impulse, and it has an effect to the amount of water in the brain, and so on and so forth. And water is emotional, people. It's emotional. It reacts to how you react. If you're feeling good, the water will be good. So you have to think about this. Now, just tell me about water in the brain.
Sure. Your brain is about 90% water, and your brain is probably the most powerful muscle in the body. It's like the focal point from your brain. That's where everything starts. Okay, your imagination, your brain sends messages to your muscles for you to do movement. So basically, if your brain is 90% water, it's only logic and makes sense that you give your brain good quality water. There's been lots of research done with children who have some kind of like disability or learning disability, and they've changed the water to an alkaline water, and they've seen huge changes in the behavior of children, because if you give them alkaline water that's antioxidizing and a good quality compared to acidic, it totally changes how they behave and how they think.
This is right, and I can only go from my experience in my life, and from my being 33 to 43, my experience of nutrition and water has changed, and I'm much happier today than I was 10 years ago, as an example. So that's really, really interesting. Now, as always, guys, hope for the best but prepare for the worst. And I've got to say, I've had a lot of fun this evening with you, Audrey. How's it been your end?
Well, it's okay, Dave. You know, that's your bad company.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen, you might have guessed, but I do not know what I'm doing. Have you noticed that?
You're definitely winging it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. Yeah, definitely. And I think I'm in good company for doing so. But it's been great. It has been great. And the great thing about life is sometimes just things happen. Like you and I end up on the radio
show, winging it,
having a laugh, talking about stuff that we're passionate about.
Exactly.
Now, I wanted to ask you, been on the coast for a while now, what kind of things do you feel that I should be doing for myself and with my children? What kind of activities are there out there for us?
Sure. Well, as we were talking about during the break, we're quite lucky living along the coast. I mean, Dave, look, it's the middle of October. The sun is shining. We have beautiful beaches, we have gorgeous mountains, so we're quite lucky. I mean, I come from Dublin, obviously you come from London, a big bustling city, which obviously there's advantages and disadvantages to both. But bottom line is, we're totally surrounded by nature. We have beautiful fresh air to breathe. We have lovely mountains, we can climb La Concha, we can walk along many, many beach fronts.
I've climbed La Concha, you know that, twice.
Wow.
No, 3 times actually. And you know what I did last weekend is I went to the trees in Alveria.
Yeah, nice.
The Amazonian thing.
Amazonia, the jungle for the kids.
It's great fun.
Yeah.
And Jacob's now big enough to go on the highest climb, and I promise you it was pretty scary. It was really scary. I've done it a couple of times. I'm reasonably okay with heights, but not great. But it's just great to get out and be in nature and do stuff that's away from the TV, you know, films and all that sort of jazz. And there's other things, isn't there? Because I do believe that you're going away to Portugal this weekend.
Yeah, I am. I'm going away with Marbella netball team to Portugal this weekend because we're playing in a netball tournament. I actually am playing because I have a bad knee, but I'm just going to kind of be a supporter and have a nice jolly. But as regards things along the coast, Dave, I mean, for our kids to get out and about in nature is so much better than them playing PlayStation or being stuck behind a TV. So we're quite lucky to live along the coast.
Yeah, but the point is I can go to the gym, I go kickboxing, I can go swimming in the sea. I mean, that's really important. Loads of natural iodine in the sea, and just swimming for 500 meters, is really good for my entire body, and engaging with other people in activities. So playing soccer, as an example, with all the Liverpudlians along the coast,
Exactly.
And doing these kind of things, interacting with other human beings on a really positive, upbeat level, you know, 'cause is that the kind of thing that you're working with individuals or groups with?
Sure. I mean, I even look at my son, and he does self-defense classes. He plays basketball outdoors. He plays football. There's so much choice here for the kids in all the schools with extracurricular activities, and just to have fun along the coast. So we're quite lucky with the weather, you know, and living along the beaches.
So we really are coming to the end of the first ever Truth is Stranger Than Fiction with Herschel 36 and Audrey Spearing. Now, Audrey, if people would like to get in contact with you direct, how would they do that?
Sure, you can just call me. My number is 686. Are you okay there, Dave? Sorry, he just dropped his ego. 686-946-915. Or my website is kanganenergy.com.
So Audrey speaks to people and helps people through, you know, difficult periods if that need be, or you know, if I was looking to get into any form of activity, I would go to Audrey and I'd ask you for advice on what to eat, how to sleep, and all these kind of things, just basic things that I think I know about, but also I don't. So if anyone's out there and wants further details, you can either go direct to Audrey, or you can go via the Facebook page for the Beat, or Herschel 36 Facebook page. You know, just ask us some questions and we'll come back to you. Audrey, you know, it's been lovely having you.
Dave,
right?
thank you so much for having me on your Virgin program. It's been very entertaining.
You broke my duck. Now listen, would you come back?
Okay, I can do that for sure.
There you go. So there we have Audrey Spearing, and Audrey's your expert in all things water and health.